Hello, soulmates. Welcome to another intensive online free tutorial. Okay, so in today's tutorial, we're going to be learning how to make this beautiful dress, one or modeled by Vicky James, our one and only Vicky James. Okay, so let's get started. To start with, of course, you know you're going to start with your basic bodies, whatever basic bodies of your choice. Because we are this shoulder that basic bodies, we're going to transfer it to the bust that which is the side that of out however you know it, okay? You close the shoulder that to transfer the volume to the bust that, okay? If you're using a stretchy fabric, you close the waist that as well to transfer the volume to the bust that. Just like this, so you don't have to add any waist that to it. But if you are using a non-stretchy fabric, please leave your waist that so you won't have any issue. Okay, or rather don't even add bust that at all. Add only waist that. Transfer all your darts to the waist. Okay. So at this point you- I will be adding extra few inches or maybe if you like a few centimeters of measurement to the shoulder for the shoulder pad because yes, this style has a shoulder pad. Okay, so which is why I added about half inch to that part. It depends on how high your shoulder pad is. Okay, so this is the back bodies, and that is basically all you have to do in the front. You can see how simple that is. Your own is just that make sure you are using a well fitted and well drafted basic bodies. That's all. Okay, so the back, the only thing you have to do on the back is just to have the shoulder that extension on the shoulder. Okay, you cancel the waist that if you're using a stretchy fabric. If your fabric is non-stretchy, please leave your waist that. Okay, so this is it. You eliminate the zipper bulge. Then the amount of elimination depends on how stretchy your fabric is. Okay, and that is basically all you have to do on your back as well. That's it. Okay, so let's move on to the skirt pattern. So you have absolutely nothing to do at the skirt because it's a straight skirt. The only thing is just that it has a slit in the middle of the front. Okay, so the only thing we have to do cancel the shoulder with the waist depth of the skirt, then had eliminate the excess on the side seam just like this. The next thing you have to do is to measure the draping parts of the pattern of the skirt. Okay, this is it. This is more like about 7 inches or thereabout. It depends on how tall your client is. Okay, so you set that aside after getting that measurement. Then you continue your alteration on your skirt pattern. Okay, as you can see, I did the knee tightening. That is basically all you have to do at the front pattern. Okay, so let's move on to the back skirt pattern, which is what we are doing right at this point. You choose to either cancel your waist that or rather leave it like that. The reason is that it depends on the shape of your client. Okay, if your client has a kind of very tiny waist, then you have to leave the waist that so you can have that on your back skirt. Okay, but if the client does not have a curvy shape, then you can eliminate this that and you can eliminate that on the side same just the way you did the front. Okay, that is basically all you have to do. It depends on your client's shape, then you do the center back bulginess elimination. Okay, okay, I had to pause this part so I can explain this, but you can see the way I extended the center back of the skirt. That is because of maybe probably the person has a bigger bum bum, so this extension will balance up the down part of the back skirt. Okay, that is the reason why I did this. Okay, not that there is anything special there. That's just it. But if the client does not have a bigger bum bum or bigger butt, then just leave it the way it is. Make it equal. The advice I can give is that extend it just like this. At least probably 1 inch is okay, no matter how big the bum bum is. That's it. So the center back of the butt crack, which means under that knee part, you can see the way I eliminated the bulginess there, then the bulginess of the zipper bulge. So you eliminate that. So let's move on back to the draping part of the front. You rule about 5 lines or more on your skirt pattern, just like this. Then you separate it, like you slash and spread it on another paper just to have enough volume. Okay, so that is basically all you have to do. At least the intervals between each pieces of this pattern should be about probably 2 inches or it depends on how much you want, but Please do not exaggerate it, and also it has to be enough because you need that draping effect. Okay, so after you are done with the spreading, you pleat it back just like this before you cut out the pattern piece. You can see the way I did mine. So that is basically all you have to do, and that is our draping, drip part of the skirt. So let's move on to the sleeve part. You have to draft a perfect sleeve for this dress. Okay, then the only thing you have to do is to have the shoulder extension for the shoulder part. Remember that there is a shoulder part there. Okay, so you had the amount of extension you did on the bodies, you had it back to the sleeve just like that. If it is half inch of shoulder pad height, then do the same thing. Okay, so yes, on a normal day, if your sleeve is a long sleeve, then you have to extend it because it reaches, so it has to reach your palm. Okay, then you draw a finger. Make sure you target the exact part where your biggest finger is. Okay, that's normal. I don't know how they call it. That finger, sha. So you cut out the pattern part of the part of that finger so you can sew it and bring out your finger right there. Okay, so the sewing has to be neat. That is the trick there. That is basically all we have to do on this beautiful pattern of this dress. Okay, so let's move on to the draping part because that is the actual thing that looks makes this style kind of unique because it's actually a very, very, very simple style. Okay, so the only thing you have to do after sewing the upper bodies and the skirt, joining it together, and also joining the draped part of the skirt to the side seam just like that, the next thing you have to do is to get a long strip of fabric. It could be wide, any amount of fabric you want. Maybe probably, let me say, just like half inch or more. Okay, you pleat it on one shoulder like that, then you crisscross it into the draped part of the skirt just like this. You can see the way I'm doing it. Okay, then you pleat it on the shoulder just like this. Okay, so after pleating it, the only thing you have to do is just to cut out the excess of the fabric. So all this should be done on a dress form. But if you have a client that maybe probably you don't have the dress form of a size, then you should probably try to measure it and guess it on just try to measure it on the client. Okay, then you are probably going to get it right at the end. Okay, but at the same time, you can always ask the client to come for fitting. So after you're done with the draping, the next thing you have to do is just to join the back and front side seam and all that, and that is basically the end of this tutorial.